Good evening. My name is Eva Andrade, and I'm going to be sharing with you some important presentation strategies from the book Presenting to Win. Presenting to Win is a global bestseller written by Jerry Wiseman. He's a presentations coach known for his effective public speaking techniques. He's authored several books on speaking, and he's the founder, owner, and leader of the company Power Presentations Limited. Some of his best-known clients include Intel, Microsoft, Cisco Systems, and Intuit, and he's helped countless business leaders and executives develop very effective business presentations. He's praised for many successful outcomes, and Cisco Systems gave him sole credit for their $2 to $3 price increase in their IPO offering price. So let's discuss some important concepts to Wiseman's strategies. See that there? It's likely that we've all sat through some type of presentation, and the common reaction is one of dread. We expect to be bored and believe it's a waste of time. And whether we're giving the presentations or on the receiving end, this is really something we all want to avoid. Wiseman's techniques counter those very feelings, engaging audiences and obtain results. Wiseman speaks of data dumps, or as he defines it, shapeless outpouring of data without purpose or plan. In other words, you end up with an audience who's bored, confused, and sees the presentation as a complete waste of time. They waste their time, energy, and attention. There's 5 cardinal sins, which are factors known to lead to data dumps. Unfortunately, these are associated with most presentations, and most of us understand this. There are no clear point. There's no audience benefit, there's no clear flow, they're either too detailed or too long. And these data dumps also lead to MIGO, which is otherwise known as mind eyes glaze over. None of us want to be speaking at the front of the room looking out at an audience when they can clearly care less about what we're talking about. He also stresses that there's an art to telling a story. Your presentation is the story, and it must take the audience from point A to point B. So the beginning of the presentation is point A, and this is the point where the mindset of the audience, it might be ignorant, indifferent, or even against your presentation. And point B is where you want them to ultimately be your end goal at the end of the presentation. Use audience persuasion and audience advocacy to get them to that place where you want them to be. Audience advocacy, which is something I just mentioned, uses the lens of the audience to present. This means the presenter views themselves, the company, the story, and the presentation through the eyes of the audience. Doing so enables the presenter to tell the story in a way that's relevant to the audience, and it discusses what the audience cares about and shows them why they should care. There's also WIFE, which means what's in it for me. And this is a key building block for audience advocacy. We all make decisions based on personal benefits, and you as the presenter should make sure that your audience understands what those benefits are. Persuade the audience by answering WIFE trigger questions such as, why am I telling you this? Who cares? Or what does it mean to you? This directs the focus off of the presenter onto the audience and gives them a clear understanding of why they should move from point A to point B. You should also learn to discover your audience so you can connect with their cares, concerns, biases, and desires, and include those things in your presentation. When Wiseman's techniques can also be used in everyday situations, not only in just giving presentations. For example, we all work and interact with numerous people daily. As an aspiring manager, knowing how to begin a plea for action will serve well in many situations. The techniques can be useful when called upon to get employees to change a process, to buy into new culture, or even motivate them to reach new goals. They'll also do justice when asking a boss for maybe new technology, new business practices, or giving raises to yourself or your employees. So it's important to know how to grab their attention, speak clearly and concisely, and communicate what you're asking for clearly and how it's relevant to them so that you can appeal to them. Ensure they know their benefits. Maybe this might be employee motivation, higher performance, less personnel issues, and etc. Use an audience lens and focus on their benefits. Give them reasons to agree what they're being asked for. This will benefit personal aspirations and also bring value to the organization worked for. Wiseman's techniques are also applicable to scripture. There's biblical relevance. With today's workplace diversity, we need to take time to consider how our words and actions will be perceived. We all have different backgrounds and experiences, so we should really be mindful of our approach and our delivery of our messages. The Bible directs us also to be sensitive and aware of feelings of others. How does it relate to presentation methods? Well, Proverbs 16:23 tells us the heart of the wise makes his speech judicious and adds persuasiveness to his lips. So we can easily persuade another when we use care and consideration rather than taking offense, whether it's unintentional or not. And the purpose of a presentation is to persuade. Hebrews 10:24 states, "And let us consider how to stir up one another and to love," and let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. Encouraging words and attitude have a positive effect on others, and this will make working relationships and environments less stressful and build positive relationships. Also, 1 Corinthians 10:24 reads, "Let no one seek his own good, but the good of his neighbor." This also contributes to building working relationships. It can have a valuable impact on day-to-day interactions and attribute to organizational culture. The scripture also relates to audience advocacy, since the point is to focus on others and serve their needs. So we see here that Wiseman's techniques are supported by scripture, and they promote teamwork, motivation, and employee well-being. So to conclude, effective presentations tell the story, and they lead the audience from point A to point B. Practice will help delivering a smooth flow and linking the presentation together so the audience can easily follow. Engage the audience, avoid data dumps, always present from the audience's point of view and connect with them by focusing on benefits and things they care about. Make the presentation memorable, present in a way that appeals to their desires. Audience advocacy is key, and using these tools of persuasion, draw them to a place where they're ready to take action. Thank you.